right. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Welcome to the show. Little special edition happy hour. How you doing, Brian?
I'm good. How are you doing, Greg? How's everybody out there doing?
Yeah, it's kind of fun. We're just trying something different, see how many people are coming on and just talk about the day, talk about some things we got going on for sure. If you want to go ahead and leave in the comments where you're from, and make sure you smash that like button to get this live stream pushed out to YouTube. Also, we are blasted to Facebook too. I know Brian is, and I am too. So if you're there, welcome. So Brian, what's new with you this week? Anything exciting?
Uh, well, I'm back from my trip to Myrtle Beach, so it's great going by the ocean, but it's also nice to get back home and get in your own bed. I gotta tell you, the Airbnb that we stayed at, the bed was so hard. It actually hurt my back a bit, and it was so nice getting back in my bed and normal bed and starting to feel better there. So yeah, that was good.
There's no
But yeah,
place like home.
yeah, yeah. So that's good for me this week. I'm getting back into the swing of things and all that stuff. So how about you?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. I've been a little busy. I had a couple job interviews this week scheduled, a couple phone interviews. Now I got a video one. They did a second interview, so that's a good sign. So that's been going good. And of course, I've been helping my mom out with some things, but overall things are going good, I guess. I can't complain. So it's been really cold in Iowa. Last night it was like 20 degrees, which really sucks because that's like January weather for here. So that was a shocker this morning, and the last couple of days it's been really windy too. So needless to say, that wind chill takes a hold and makes it pretty cold. So yep, definitely.
Yeah, I watched there were a couple of college football games on yesterday. One was Northern Illinois at Central Michigan, and the other one was Buffalo at Toledo, and both of them had snow. Was snowing during their game, so it was
Wow.
interesting.
When were those games played then? Were they yesterday then, or was it over the
Yeah,
weekend?
they were
Really?
yesterday. So yeah, they
Okay.
were like yesterday evening, 7:30, something like that. So
Oh,
it was
wow.
definitely cold there. And here in Virginia, it was warm, I guess, last week. Of course, I was in Myrtle Beach, but it was fairly warm last week. But it's been cold this week. Last night we had a freeze warning, and the low was 30. And I think that the temperature's been in like the 50s or 60s here the last couple of days. But by this weekend, it's supposed to be back up to the mid 70s. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to get a little warmed up a little bit too. Coming up, I feel kind of bad because the end of the weekend, basically Monday, a lot of the leaves came down in the yard and they were stacked pretty deep, and it was supposed to be windy the next day or two. Well, I didn't get them cleaned up, but the leaves are gone. Oh, shame on me because somebody else is going to end up having to clean those up. But I still have plenty to clean up, though. Trust me. So
I'm really hoping that, or I would be hoping that that would happen at my house, but that doesn't seem to work at my house. They just stay in my yard. I have like an acre and a half, and yeah, they just stay in my yard. So I have a ton of leaves right now. You can't even see the grass. It's all leaves.
yeah, definitely. I see we got a question about the November challenge. I guess we could talk about that, Brian. I guess I'll talk a little bit about it, and I know Brian's going to join me on this challenge. But the challenge for November, basically starting today, no way November. So basically, you weigh in today, and you will not weigh in till December 1st. The reason I wanted to do this challenge, we have a holiday mixed in there with Thanksgiving coming up, which makes it a little more difficult. But it's one of those things. Sometimes we get so focused on the scale, and sometimes I think it's good to just step away from that scale. And I think in the end, you're going to find that you really watch what you eat. You take care of yourself a little bit better by not weighing in because you're fearful that you're going to gain weight, when it comes December 1st. So that's why I kind of created the challenge and asked a few people to join us. I know, Brian, what were your thoughts on that when you first saw that?
Yeah, so this is an interesting time for me because I was just in Myrtle Beach, and it's funny because early in the week I did really, really great with my eating. So when I left, I was 290. And I did really great with my eating. I'm like, I'm gonna be at least 290, maybe even lower. But then, like Saturday, I had a little bit of alcohol, and I think it was Saturday and Sunday I had a little bit of carb with my food, and I'm actually 294. And I'm surprised that I gained that much, but I gained 4 pounds. So it's interesting for me because I kind of feel weird. Like I weighed myself this morning, it was 294, but I don't know how much of that's water weight. So if I do well here and I don't get tempted during Thanksgiving and all that stuff, come December 1st, I should see a pretty good difference my weight.
Yeah, we're real close. I'll say that because today I was like 295, and my lowest was 288. So I'm up a little bit from my over my 100-pound weight loss, and it's been that way for a few weeks now. I just kind of took a break after the huge weight loss and putting in all that time, and I haven't been as diligent. Not that I've went crazy or anything, but I'm with you. I'm hoping, man. I'd love to see 280 on the number. Come December 1st. I don't know if I can hit it or not. We'll see. That'd be like a 15-pound loss from where I'm at, but it's doable. There's no doubt about that. So we
Mhm.
definitely got a few people from Iowa in the house. Hello, Mike. Hey, I want to thank you the other day for that donation. I really appreciate it, buddy. That means a lot to me. So thank you. Yeah, Iowa's in the house. We got a few people, and let's see here. Hello, Michael. How you doing? Good to see you on here. Yep. Yeah, that's 100-pound weight loss that's no small order. I know Brian, he's pretty close to it himself. That's he's been real successful on his weight loss too. So yeah, it feels pretty good, I must say. But yeah, so that's what No Way November is about. And if you want, if you just getting this today, you can start tomorrow. We're not going to penalize you, but we hope to do something, and I know I'll do a video. Maybe me and Brian can come on, do a live and talk about it or something too. That way people can reveal what they did for the month. I think it's just one of those things that hopefully it'll help people keep focused on eating the right foods and hopefully taking off some pounds without stressing out about the scale so much. I know sometimes, being a bigger person, the weight can fluctuate a lot on the scale from day to day. And sometimes it can get discouraging, especially if you do eat something a little different. It can make your weight go up real quick. So just like,
Yeah.
Brian, like you said, alcohol can affect it. I know for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
I
you
think,
feeling about a scale? Yeah. Go ahead.
something else I was going to say that I think doing the No Way November thing, it kind of in a way forces or helps you to focus more on non-scale victories
Yeah.
throughout the month because you're not worrying so much and focusing so much on your weight. So it might help you to actually think more about what's happening to your body throughout the month. And you might even recognize some things that you forgot about that you're seeing has improved since going low carb or carnivore or whatever it is
Mhm.
that you're doing. And that's stuff that I have seen before too. Like there was one time I remembered when we were talking about non-scale victories, and I started thinking, I was like, you know what? I used to have back pain when I slept in bed, and I don't have that anymore, and I completely forgot about that. So it does help you to kind of
Yeah.
focus more on some of those non-scale victories, I think.
Yeah, and with that being said, if you want to measure yourself, that's not a bad idea too. On part of this challenge is just measure and see if how many inches you lose. There's nothing wrong with that too, and that's one of those non-scale victories too. Just seeing those measurements and seeing how much you lost. So, 60 pounds since May. That's great. Good job. Keep up the good work. And Michael's down 67 pounds. That's awesome. Way to go, Michael. That's awesome. And yep, Aaron's in the house, the low carbist. Mike, of course. And Mike grew up in Oregon. So that's awesome. I like that spelling there. That's cool. I almost thought, I got to thinking I should have did no scale November, but I'll call it that too. I don't care. It's just don't weigh in November. How's that? Yep, definitely. And lots of nice comments here. Yeah, keep plugging away, people. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and put a Q in front of it. Too. And yeah, that happens, Aaron. You know, that's it. That's okay. I mean, I understand. I mean, when I was really focused on the losing weight, I mean, I was weighing every day, and it was a big deal for me. And I don't think I could have did this challenge then. It would have been very hard for me, but now I think I can, and I think I'm going to be a little more disciplined and diligent in my watching what I eat and making sure I'm not slipping up or eating stuff I shouldn't. I think that's a big deal for people. Oh, let's see here. Couple more. Oh yeah, there he goes. Yep, you guys are doing great. Like you said, I can't. I think what Brian said is a huge deal. The non-scale victories are just as important, if not more important, than the scale victories as well. So I think that was a great point, Brian. So, Brian, I know tomorrow night, we have the low carb football party starting at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. What's going to be our topic tomorrow night again?
You put me on the spot. I got to remember that.
Arthritis. What about arthritis?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about arthritis and joint pain and healing that with a low carb diet. So it should be a good show. I think a good topic to discuss. Everybody's probably in a different spot. There are people that don't have any issues with arthritis and joint pain and so forth. And then there's people that have had that, and I think most people you're going to find within a few months start to see, if not sooner, they start to see some relief with that arthritis and joint pain when they're doing low carb. So, if there's anybody out there that tunes into our show while we're talking about it, that's thinking about doing a low carb diet, that could be like the difference to help them to decide to go there and start to heal their body. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that'll be a good topic. We got some great people on. Should be a lot of fun for sure. I just seen Mike had a question. I had bought a $20 starter pack of keto chow. Kind of bought it for my wife, I would say, but kind of for both of us too, because I wanted to try it because I've seen a lot of advertisements for it or people talking about it. And I had some last night, the chocolate flavor. It was really good, but so far the two flavors I tried were great. They tasted amazing. I have not noticed the sweet stuff. As far as the taste, is giving me more cravings for other stuff. Now, granted, I didn't drink a lot. I more or less tried it and to see what the taste was like, but it was pretty good. I think it's a great meal supplement for somebody, especially if they're doing maybe 2 meals a day and they don't have a lot of time. Maybe they're working. I think it's got a little bit of carbs in it. So it's definitely more of a keto type drink, but you can lose weight and drink that too. I mean, there's no problems with that. Good luck with that though, Mike. I think you'll enjoy it. I thought it was a pretty good deal. I think we'll be ordering some more. Just from what I've seen, I think my wife's going to try and make some cookies. They have cookies you can make. I've seen another person make, they're 1 carb cookies and they're regular size cookies. I mean, that's pretty amazing if you're doing a keto diet, because that's one thing I do miss is eating cookies. I love cookies. So looking forward to trying that. Oh, Aaron, you're wondering if we're drinking for happy hour. Well, I'm drinking a water. Does that count?
So I'm actually splurging here, and I have a Waterloo sparkling water, orange vanilla. So I guess it's supposed to be
Oh,
like the orange creamsicle type. But it's the it's that dry sparkling taste or whatever. So because there's no sugar in it or anything like that. So I don't know that really tastes like creamsicle, but it's all right. It's different than water for once. So
yeah. I think I tried it was like a cinnamon apple one or something. That was pretty good. Hi, Kim. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate you. Just catching up on some of these comments here. And Yeah, I can imagine doing some tree climbing again. That used to be. It reminds me of a memory with our favorite game when I was a kid. We go down to the neighbors and we called it jump out of the tree into the pillows. They had old couch cushions and a whole bunch of them, so we'd jump out of the apple tree into the cushions. Oh, it's funny how little stuff like that you remember. And hello, Christy. Yep, yep. Nothing wrong with me eating eggs, meat, fish, butter, and coffee. It's definitely easy. Done a lot of that, that's for sure. I know Brian does a lot of that too. Probably not so much eggs, but I know he does eat them once in a while. So for sure.
Mhm.
Yep, good old H2O. That's a good one. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. Getting back to the low carb football party, I wasn't sure. Did you mention who was coming on at all there, Brian? I'm sorry if I missed it. Who our guests were on the show.
I did not mention it.
Okay. Well, I'm
So
highlighted on one of our
go ahead.
guests, the low carbist. She's going to be on tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then also Adam is going to be on tomorrow night. You know Adam from the Keto Cookout, and he'll
It's
be
the
on tomorrow
Carnivore
night
Today
too.
channel.
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
Yep.
So got a couple guests on. Mike, we want to get you on the show one of these days too, buddy. I know I left you a message. I don't think I have your email. You'll have to shoot it to me so I have it and we can get a hold of you. I'd like to have you on the show sometime for sure. Yeah, definitely. Man, we appreciate everybody coming on and just saying hello. And what else everybody else got going on this week? Everybody's having a good week, I hope. We're already it's already Wednesday, only two more days and it's the weekend again. These weeks go by so fast, Brian.
Yes, they do. So for the low carb football party tomorrow, I don't think we actually said who was playing the game, but it's going to be the Tennessee Titans at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh, that will be an interesting matchup.
Mm-hmm. Definitely should be.
You know, I got to start looking at the weather on some of these games because the weather kind of, me, Brad, I know we're talking a little bit about it last week, but it's like the weather will start affecting these games and you have to look at who's pretty solid at running the ball. You know, if it's going to be rainy and wet, usually the passing game isn't so great, you know, and then it gets cold too. So that'll be an interesting game. I'll have to look at that one a little closer and see who I think will win that so I can make sure I pick the winner tomorrow night when we're on the show.
You know, especially with being in Pittsburgh, it can be pretty cold there.
Yeah. So. Well, and then that rookie quarterback he threw 4 touchdowns for Tennessee this last week. So
yeah,
that's
he's supposed to start again this week. So
yep. So that makes it kind of interesting too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Denver Broncos started off kind of rough, but they've been doing pretty good lately. I mean, they were really bad at first, but they have gotten better. Yep. Aaron doesn't. We'll get you talking football yet, Aaron.
So I do have another football related question for you, Greg.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings. What do you think about that trade for Joshua Dobbs at QB?
You know, I guess I just kind of see he's another backup to replace Cousins, but it doesn't mean he won't play. I feel they should give the rookie a chance. Give him a couple games to show what he can do. Now, I will say this: I think he's like a 25-year-old rookie, so he's a little bit more mature. And I think preseason he looked good. I think you give him a shot and see if he can prove himself. You know, and then if he falters, you know, you could bring in the other guy and see how he does. I think it was just to grab a quarterback. I don't know that guy. I know that guy's played on quite a few teams. He's got some experience. He's really smart. I heard he's an aerospace engineer. So, but I know he's, you know, I don't think he's their future by any means, but we'll see what happens. But, you know, the Vikings are not out of the hunt yet. So, you know, they got to keep trying to win. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you, Michael. We appreciate you for being there. I think you show up every week, and we really appreciate you for that as well. And it's nice to see your weight loss success and continue to go on, buddy. I know you're having some success, and you've got a ways to go, but we're cheering for you. So keep plugging away. That's a good question. I don't, Brian, do you know if there's any carnivore? I'm sure their diets are very different. Probably a lot of protein, I'm guessing. I know there's quite a few linemen. They have to eat a ton of calories just to maintain their weight. Because
Yeah.
they're trying to pack on as much weight as they can, especially if they're playing the line. And I know some they eat a ton just to maintain the calories. So I'm not sure how many of them are carnivore. I'm sure there's some in the league.
So, so I do know of one that at least was, whether or not he still is. I'm trying to see if he still is, and that's Taylor Rapp. He was a safety for the Rams, and he's now playing for the Buffalo Bills. I think he was just traded to Buffalo actually. Um, and I'm looking it up. He was eating a meat-based diet. And he was interviewed like by one of the doctors or something like that, like a few months back, or it was in the preseason or something like that. But I'm trying to see if there's any new information, and I don't really see anything. Oh, he signed with the Bills at the beginning of the season. Okay, so yeah, he's been with the Bills this year. Um, and I'm trying to see. It doesn't have anything in his personal information. Just says he's engaged. I don't know, but he was interviewed, like I said, by one of the doctors. I don't remember who. And he was doing a meat-based diet. That's the only one that I know of for sure. There could potentially be others that maybe don't really talk about it or whatever. I don't know. Um, but I know he is one of those guys. Interesting thing is, I think some of the bigger benefits that you see with carnivore has to do with like endurance. So could be that you're going to see more of like your skilled type of guys might be more into it than some of the other guys that need a lot of strength, like on the offensive and defensive lines and so forth.
Hello, Becky. Nice to see you too. We're just doing a little happy hour today just to talk about our November challenge and talk a little bit about what's going on tomorrow night. And we're going to be talking about arthritis on the low carb football party. That'll be a good one to tune in because let me tell you, you get in your 40s and you start noticing arthritis a little bit. At least for me, it did. I know it's different for everyone, but it definitely can affect you. So. I see Susan Hampton is on. Hello, Susan. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. Appreciate you coming on. So, for those of you that just coming on, our challenge is No Weigh November, No Scale November, whatever you want to call it. You can weigh in today and then we'll weigh back in on December 1st and just kind of see how it goes and kind of challenge yourself, especially if we like to step on the scale often. It kind of gives you a little break from that. And I think you'll be more diligent with watching closely on what you're consuming. And kind of like Brian said, there's a lot of non-scale victories that makes you focus on as well. So that's why we're going to do it this month, especially with Thanksgiving in there. I don't know, Brian, did you see my turkey video today? I think it was today.
I did, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did see it.
So that was kind of interesting, something different. I just thought, we saw it at Sam's Club, and I'm like, I want to try this and see how it tastes because usually I go to a lot of work at deep frying a bird, and I thought, I'm going to try this because maybe this will be a good substitute. Maybe I can smoke one of them. The other two I'll put in the oven, and they're already pre-cooked, so it's not that big a deal. But if you missed that, if you want to check out that video, I just did kind of a product review of a Member's Mark turkey breast. That video released today. You might want to check it out. But there's a lot of meat on there, Brian. For $16, I think my wife and I could probably eat 4 times on that turkey breast at least. So that's not too bad,
Pretty
I
good.
don't think.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty good.
yeah.
Basically, $4 a person per meal. That's not bad.
Yeah. Yep. So, or yeah, well, I was gonna say $2 a meal per person. Yep. Because I think we can
Yeah,
get 4 meals out of
4
it.
times. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Never mind. I, yeah,
Brian wasn't a math guy. No, just
no.
kidding. Just kidding.
See, I've been looking at numbers all day. Like
Yeah,
this.
I give you a pass, buddy. No problem. Yep. Susan, thank you once
Susan.
again. We're getting some smack talk going in the chat about Pittsburgh, and I love it. So does anybody have anything they want to share? I'm just curious if there's anything going on this week, any success stories you want to share with the group, go ahead and type it up quick and share it. We'd love to have, we like to share that stuff too. If you're working on something cool or something cool happened to you this week, go ahead and share. Just try to keep it positive, I guess. That's the only thing I ask. So, yep, Christy, Carnivore got rid of your arthritis and healing your gut. Yep, it's done a lot of that for a lot of people, I know. Definitely. I know, Brian, you've had a lot more experience with Carnivore than I have, but definitely I know there's a lot of people that are having some success with that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Anymore, a lot of those traveling teams, like even the Raiders, I mean, Los Angeles Raiders, you go to Vegas and there's more of the opposing team there cheering for their team than the home team. Almost the Rams sometimes too, I would say out there that happens too. It seems like,
Michael says he's
there you
going
go,
to.
Mike. You were asking about cravings. Becky's just saying that she does not have any cravings with that. Yeah, I was kind of wondering that myself too, Becky, if it could be made into ice cream if you put some eggs in it. So that's good to know. They have a lot of amazing flavors too. So it'll be fun to try a few more of them and see how it goes. Hello, Gail. How are you today? Let's see here.
Steelers fans everywhere.
Yep. So, Brian, I'm just trying to think. Oh, what do you think about your Lions? I wanted to ask you that after the big win this weekend here, that they kind of rebounded a little bit, looks like.
Yeah, it was a nice rebound. The Raiders aren't the best team in the world. As a matter of fact, they just fired their head coach and their GM and their offensive coordinator after that game. So,
oh wow,
that's something. But it was a nice rebound game for the Lions. I think I think we're really going to see the division's going to come down to the Lions and the Vikings. And here's the crazy thing. They play twice in the last 3 weeks of the season.
oh wow.
So I think it's at Minnesota, and then Detroit plays somebody else, like Dallas. I think they play at Dallas or something like that. And then they're home against Minnesota to end the season. So 2 of the last 3 games are against the Vikings. Dallas mixed in there too. They're pretty good. So that's a tough ending. But that's gonna pretty much, I think, that's gonna be where we're gonna find out who's gonna win the division between Detroit and Minnesota. Is those 2 of those last 3 games at the end of the season.
Yeah. Here's a challenge. Definitely this month, no coffee. That's definitely a tough one, especially with caffeine. Good luck with that one. I hope you succeed and it goes well for you, because that's an interesting one for sure. A lot of people would struggle with giving up caffeine. I know that.
It's an easy one for me because I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee
I'm good
either.
with it.
I do drink essential amino energy drink. It's a powder. It's in the health section at the store. It's got like 1 gram of carbs. I usually drink that every day, and it's got some natural caffeine in it. So that I'd have a hard time giving that up. Maybe, I don't know. There's time once I gave up pop for 6 months. So, I mean, I think it can be done. It's just not something I want to do right now. Let's see here.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
One afternoon, and it used to take her 3 days. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I noticed that too with after losing this weight and just having less arthritis and being able to move around. I'm definitely able to work faster now than I was because I could hardly do anything before. And now I can do a lot of things. This weekend, I hope to kind of get the outside of the house winterized, lawn furniture put away, all the hanging pots put away, that kind of thing. So. Hey, Becky, how does the keto chow taste with just butter instead of cream anyways? I know you asked me that on the video. I'm just curious. Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. I think it's worth a shot anyways. Give it a try. I mean, you can't go wrong for $20 to, I don't know if you're familiar with that, Brian, but Keto Chow is an essential starter pack for first time. It's $20. You get the shaker bottle, and then you get 6 packets of different shakes that they have available. And it's $20, $19.99, free shipping. Which the shaker bottle, those run $10 anyways. So, but usually a lot of those packets are like $5.50 regular price, unless you're on one of the programs or you have a discount. But yeah, it's just, I know you're carnivore, but just something for future, if you're looking to change things up. Sometimes doing stuff like that'll make all the difference. So, Yep, Gail's a beast, definitely.
I am definitely still recovering from vacation. It was so nice and warm and sunny there, and it's so cold here right now. So,
Yep.
Oh.
Hey, thank you, Gail. Looks like she gave a super sticker. That's awesome.
Thanks, Gail.
We appreciate you. Himalayan salt. Yep. Take magnesium and potassium as well. Yep. I don't think there's anything wrong with if there's something you like and you're carnivore and you want to pop or whatever, as long as it's diet or whatever. I think that's great. I mean, that doesn't disqualify you from being carnivore. I think it's you do what works for you, and if that keeps you happy, then so be it. That's really my approach on it. I think Brian's is similar too. So,
yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, I was just talking earlier to my wife that I need to hide the scale now because, when you're so used to going and stepping on it, that it would be pretty easy to wander over there and step on it. And it's like, yeah, I got to hide mine so I don't cheat. And for sure, that kind of defeat the purpose. Yeah, I remember you saying that you were going to be wiring a stage. It turned out good. It sounds like, so that's good. So Brian, do you have any videos you want to talk about that you put out this week, or anything that you're working on that you want to share? Or I know earlier I talked about my turkey video, but is there anything that you have that you want to talk about or bring up or mention?
So I'm still getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, I figured.
So I don't really have any good videos to talk about right now. I put out some shorts this week, a couple of shorts. But I still got to get back to coming up with some good long content. I do have some live streams though, so we've got ours tomorrow night, of course, the low carb football party. Friday night, I'm going to be on with Sana and Cindy on their live stream that they do on Friday nights. And then Sunday night, Carnivore Trucker is going to have me on for a live. So I'm going to be doing a live with him.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
that'll be pretty cool. Yeah.
I was just going to tell all the viewers tonight, hey, make sure you're sub to Brian's channel. We got to get him up to 1,000 subs. He's getting closer and closer all the time, but really want to make a push to get him make sure he gets up there. And I'm pretty sure most of the people in here are probably sub to you, Brian, but I think it's important to give you that plug anyways, because you got a great channel and definitely want to see you get up there for sure. Yeah, those a lot of fun lives coming up, and they're always a good time. So it's interesting the interaction we get from people, just like this one. There's a lot of great comments in here. So Becky, you put butter in your keto chow. Yeah, that makes sense. Save some of those hidden carbs. Definitely makes sense. Gave up coffee 3 months ago. 16 this morning.
Man, that's cold. For November 1st, isn't that cold? Woo.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Iowa was it's been brutal this week. And then we had a wind too. I mean, it was just like, oh man, it was not a good week, but it's supposed to be warming up the next couple days, thank goodness. But when I say warm, it's like 50, upper 40s. Oh man. For sure. Boy, I got to get caught up on comments. There's lots here.
Yeah, dairy has definitely caused stalls for me in the past. I have to be careful with eating dairy.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to anymore. I've always loved cheese, but I try to treat it as a condiment now when I use it instead of just grabbing slices and eating them. And, I try to watch that for sure. Because that makes a difference.
Susan is in upstate South Carolina, and it's supposed to be a low of 26.
Oh, wow.
South Carolina. Wow, that's where I just basically was. And it was like 80s all week.
Dead flies are good flies. Yeah, there won't be too many. That's the only good thing about winter in Iowa. We don't have any more bugs. The bugs are gone. So, yep, 69 years old.
It's too cold even for the bugs.
Ghee. Yep, ghee. Have you used a lot of ghee before, Brian?
No, I really haven't even tried it. So I keep saying that I need to, but I haven't.
It's clarified butter. It's great for cooking your steaks on it and stuff like that. I used it quite a bit on my flat top griddle, for sure. Awesome. Well, that's good. 3 days of no coffee. You didn't notice a change. That's awesome. I'm loving the comments, Brian. Man, we're getting a lot of interaction here. I love it. Keep them coming. If you guys have questions, fire away. There's a lot of good people on here that even help answer, I'm sure. So,
yeah,
that's for sure. 40 overnight. That's still plenty cold. It's amazing how quick it changes too, from the end of summer to fall, and then it shoots right into winter pretty quickly, it seems like, especially once I think the other day, I just heard it yesterday in Iowa, the beginning of the month, we were in the 90s. And then here we were at the end of the month, we were in the 30s or 20s. That's Iowa for you. Usually it's not that warm though.
Well, where I'm at in Virginia, you really never know what you're going to get. Like, it can be 40 or 50 one day and then like 80 the next day. There was one Christmas when it was 80 degrees.
Oh, geez.
And then there was another, like maybe the year or 2 years after that, we got like 36 inches of snow a few days after Christmas. So you just never know in Virginia.
Yeah. Hey, I noticed the dogs get the leavings. I was going to ask you, how's the carnivore? How's your carnivore dog doing?
So right now it's kind of a bit on hold because
You
when we
travel.
were gone, she
Mm-hmm.
was having some problems. And so I think there's a combination of that we were gone and she doesn't eat well when we're gone. Um, she is at her period time, like she gets a period twice a year, right? So she's at her period time right now. And she tends to not eat then as well. Um, so they couldn't, while we were gone, couldn't really get her to eat. So they bought her some dog food and tried that, and she didn't really eat that either. But she did kind of eat a little bit. So she's kind of like in an interesting situation right now. Like she's not eating a whole lot, but she's eating some right now. But I think that's just because of what she's got going on her stuff right now this time of year and so forth. In combination with us having been gone.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's so I'm kind of like mixing her back between food and the kibble dog food stuff. So we have to see how that goes here over the next few days or week or so. Is see if she starts to get a little bit better, and then maybe we'll go back completely to the chicken again. We'll see.
We did get some snow over the weekend. I was actually down in Des Moines, and we came back, and it was kind of dark, but I knew right away because I looked over to the right, and the field was covered in white. It wasn't real; it's just a dusting, but we did get snow already here. To answer your question, and Aaron's cooking salmon right now. Wasn't sure what to put it on. What does everyone season it with? Um, Gosh, I don't cook a lot of salmon. I like to put some kind of seasoning on there, though. Definitely. Hey, if anybody has any suggestions, go ahead and put it out there. Brian, maybe you know.
Um, so if I want to be completely carnivore, I'm just gonna put like a little bit of salt and some butter.
Mm,
Um, but I do sometimes put Old Bay on salmon, and I like it that way too. And that's not too horribly bad.
yeah,
Old Bay seasoning, so
Old
it's
Bay's
just a
good on
dry
fish.
rub.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Looks like Guy doesn't agree with Gail. Yeah, that happens.
Hmm.
Hey, I just want to welcome anybody that's come on. Welcome to the show. We're just kind of having a question and answer, just talking a little bit. We just talked about our November challenge at No Way November. And of course, me and Brian do the low carb football party tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tomorrow's topic, we're talking about arthritis and, how eating certain foods will help with arthritis and so forth. We have a couple guests on. So make sure you tune in for that. Tune into the football game on your TV. And like I said, most of the conversation though is around the low carb lifestyle and the different topics that we have. But we mix in a little football, give a little scoring updates, and give our picks early in the show. But I don't know, we seem to enjoy it, right, Brian?
Yeah, definitely. It's been fun.
Yeah,
So
definitely. And so there's a little bit of snow on the ground. Looks like in Ohio. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I got a question for you, Greg.
yeah.
Um, so I did a poll on my community tab earlier today,
Mhm.
and I want to ask you. I don't know if you've seen it and voted on it or not, but you can vote on it right now.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
I voted.
Okay. So if you had to stop eating one of the following forever, which would it be? And the choices are bacon, eggs, and butter.
That's a very good question. I had to think about that a minute, but I did the elimination thing. My favorite, probably almost one of my favorite meats is bacon. I love bacon, so that one's not going anywhere. And I really like eggs a lot, and I like my eggs and butter together. That one's my favorite, but I'd probably eliminate the butter if it was me. But that was a great question, and there I like all three of those things, so it's definitely a tough one. So
Hmm.
Aaron threw some taco seasoning on the salmon,
Hmm.
and the Old Bay was expired. I'm sure it would have worked. It's probably a Best Buy date, not a expiration date. They get you on that, so you buy more seasoning. Yep. Lake effect snow. Old Bay is good. Oh, I'm just trying to keep up here. There's a lot of great stuff here. Yep, it's all good for salmon. My son likes to do crab boil, and that we enjoy that. That's kind of fun. Taste. We just started doing that, and he did this last year, and it's like, wow, this is really good, and I'd never done it before myself. I got to be careful on that now, though. I can't really eat the sweet corn that goes in there and some of the other stuff, but. Oh yeah, nothing beats some eggs and porterhouse. That's some good eating. Brian, do you do much OMAD anymore? Or are you pretty much 2 meals a day?
It's been pretty much 2 meals for a while now. I think there's only been maybe 1 or 2 days in the past month or two that I've actually just done 1 meal. So it's been pretty much two. Um, so yeah, I think part of it is just that I haven't been eating as much in one setting. Um, and I don't know, like I'm trying to guess my appetite, I guess, if that's the right word, guess when I'm really completely full or not. And I think I'm not quite eating as much as I should. Like I start to maybe feel like I could be getting full and I stop, and maybe I should eat a little more, and that might be the difference. But I've been doing 2 meals,
Yeah,
so.
I find 2 works best for me too, for sure. Susan's got a question. How do you cook thin sliced sirloin tip steak? Any cooking tips? You don't have an air fryer, only a stove, oven, and an Instapot. Um,
So I've cooked it on the stove before, on the stove top.
yeah, low and
It's
slow, probably.
Yeah, if it's really nice, yeah, it's really nice and thin.
Yeah, doesn't take long.
Yeah, and even maybe putting some butter or bacon grease too to just kind of help fatten it
Hmm.
up a little bit.
Try not
But
to overcook it.
you
Yeah.
don't really need anything because you're gonna have a little bit of the grease, mixing in, or the fat mixing in as it renders. So, but yeah, I've definitely done it that way on the stovetop before. But you're right, like be careful because if it's thin, it cooks really quickly.
Yeah, that won't take long at all. And I mean, you could use a hot pan. It's like, well, you're going to be done in a couple minutes, probably, pretty much. I mean, it won't take long. So, hey, Todd, how you doing? Todd's, I know he was on Sean Baker's podcast the other day. I listened to that. That was great to hear. Good job. Congratulations, Todd, on
Yeah.
all your successes. And I know Homestead, how you were on his show the other day, too. I haven't had a chance to watch that one, but congratulations again. Yeah. 2020 for the Old Bay. It's that's a good question. The only thing that frustrates me with crab is it's so hard to get the meat out sometimes. I guess I'm just not. I haven't eaten a lot of it, but it frustrated me when I did. It's like, give me a big juicy steak. I'll take that instead.
Well, so I had a decent amount of crab legs last week with being in Myrtle Beach, and the biggest thing for me is it takes a while to eat it, and you have to eat a lot to get full from it.
Yeah.
So it was nice that the buffet is having like prime rib and crab legs because I kind of was filling up on the prime rib as I was eating the crab legs. But yeah, if you sit there and just eat crab legs with, to crack it and get the crab meat out and everything, it takes a while. So you don't really get that full. At least I don't when I eat it.
Yeah. Let's see here.
But it is very good, especially dipped in butter. Crab leg,
There
cracking
you
down
go.
to an art.
It is an art for sure. Definitely. like I said, if anybody has any questions, keep firing away. We'll be on for a little bit longer, but I know we'll probably wrap this up in another 10 minutes or so, but it was nice having everybody on. And like I said, the challenge is No Way November. So that's the challenge for the month of November. There's quite a few people I know that committed on my community tab to doing it. So I know Becky's in on it. I think Mike's going to be in on it. You're in on it. I'm on it. I know there's probably a couple others too. So definitely be fun to see how everybody does on it. And yeah, it should be a good time. Let's see here what else we got for comments. I'm sure I'm guessing he's referring to Todd being on. That's right. And maybe I've done these already. There we go. Yep. Oh yeah, I had these on. Sorry. Sometimes it's hard to keep track. Hey Ralph, how you doing today? Where are you from, Ralph? We always kind of like to see where everybody's from in the comments. If you want to put it on there, it'd be great to see. So Brian, are you excited for who do the Lions play this week coming up? Or is it their bye week?
They're on a bye this week, yeah. I don't know.
Ralph's from Illinois. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're with us. Yeah, I'm not even sure who the Vikings are playing, to be honest. I haven't looked because everything's been talk about Kirk Cousins getting hurt and the trade situation, and it's been kind of interesting.
But. Yeah, so they have a bye this week. Then they play at the Chargers, and then they host the Bears, and then the Thanksgiving game is against the Packers. So if they beat the Chargers, I mean, they could potentially win those next 3 games pretty easily, I would think.
Yeah.
The Bears and the Packers are really struggling. The Packers started out 2-0, and they're like, 2-6 now?
They're not very good. Vikings should have beat them by a lot more than they did, probably. I was really surprised at that. But they couldn't do nothing on offense, and they really couldn't do much. Their defense wasn't really that great either. So, but is there 3 games on Thanksgiving this year then? I'm assuming
there is. There has been, the last few years there's been 3 games. So Dallas will play somebody, right?
Yeah, usually Dallas and Detroit play, and then that you never know on that night game, I guess, who's playing. But we will not have the low carb football party that night. We're going to take that night off, and but generally every week we're on Thursdays, so for sure.
All right, so here you go. The NFL games on Thanksgiving. The Packers at the Lions at 12:30. The Commanders at the Cowboys at 4:30. And the 49ers at the Seahawks at 8:20 p.m.
Ooh.
Those are Eastern time.
Yeah, that should be a good game, I would think, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Diana's going to join us on the No Way November. Awesome. Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll, I think we'll probably come on and do a show or something. That way we'll put it out in enough time and put some reminders out that, hey, we're going to talk about this. That way everybody can kind of come back and report on how they did. And hopefully everybody's had a lot of success. I'd love to drop 15 pounds. That'd make me happy. We'll see. That's probably maybe a reach, but, heck, I'll try. I mean, 10 would be good, but we'll see.
Yep, I'd be happy with 10.
The last month's been pretty slow for me, but at the same time, I haven't been working it like I was. So I just needed to take a little bit of a break, I guess you could say, which, sometimes our bodies need that anyway. So, yep, turkey night. Yeah, I knew the Seahawks would be halfway decent this year. So they're one of those kind of surprise teams that will come up and do pretty well for sure. All right. If you have any more questions, now's the time to get them in. We'll be probably shutting it down here in another 5 minutes, but we really appreciate everybody coming on and sharing their thoughts and comments. And it's just really nice to have a good group of people in here. So yeah, that can happen. It's kind of good to see where you're at, but yeah, you can it can be a little discouraging sometimes stepping on the scale for sure. Definitely. All right, let's see here. Once again, there's the challenge, and then I'm just going to put this up here too. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Brian, I thank you for coming on short notice. I appreciate you coming on. It was nice having you on here, and we talked a little bit about the tomorrow night's lineup too for football, low carb football party. Should be a good time.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, the scale, it is a mental thing with the scale. Like I said, you can get discouraged in a hurry. And, the thing is, when you're bigger, that scale can vary a lot. And, maybe just a day where you're carrying more water than usual. So it can, but I think you have to have the expectation if you're going to weigh a lot. It's like, well, you're going to see a variation from, every time you step on. So it's usually not too consistent anyways, but no way. Party on, Garth. Yep. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, isn't it? Is it from Bill and Ted?
That's
or is that a different one?
Wayne's World.
Oh, Wayne's World. Yeah. Okay. Yep. You're right. I forgot. Hey, thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining the challenge. Should be a lot of fun, and good luck with that. And look forward to seeing you on more. So perfect. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up here. Brian, do you have any parting words for everybody?
Wow, parting words. I hope everybody did well with Halloween. If you completely stayed away from candy in some cases for people, or maybe if you're the person you just had like a piece or something, I hope that worked well for you. And we're getting into November, so we're just really a few weeks away from Thanksgiving. So keep going, stay strong, do what you got to do that works for you, and hopefully if you have a great Thanksgiving holiday time period without overindulging yourself.
Yep, definitely. Susan, I like your comments, Susan. Great chatting this evening with our friends. And yeah, there's a lot of friends on here for sure. We see a lot of these same names every week, and it's always nice to get everybody's input and just that's why we do this. It helps keep people motivated and focused. And thanks again, Brian, for coming on. And I just want to reiterate what Brian said. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. We'll see you tomorrow night. Tune in at 7:00 Central Standard Time for the low carb football party. Should be a good show, and it'll be a lot of fun as usual. Brian, thanks again for doing this, and we'll talk to you all later. Take care. Thanks again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, Ralph.